Good morning. We are going to start off with the last ratio which we discussed orally. And if you remember that, it was the inventory turnover ratio. Okay. So, uska thoda dictation pending hai mere hisab se. So, let us write down inventory turnover ratio. This ratio determines, I'm dictating it for you, this ratio determines the number of times, this ratio determines the number of times goods were manufactured. Goods into bracket inventory लिखा तो भी चलेगा. Goods into bracket inventory is also good. Were manufactured and sold. For example, if inventory turnover ratio is 8 for a specific company, for example, if inventory turnover ratio is 8 for a company, comma, it means that the cycle of manufacturing goods and selling the entire goods, happened 8 times within 1 year. Now can I say the meaning is very clear? क्या हो गया बोलो? What is inventory turnover ratio? Goods were manufactured and sold. So you can imagine something like this. There is this godown. Okay. In the godown, this much goods were manufactured and sold. So ये complete zero हो गया. Correct? This became zero. Number 1. फिर से goods manufacture हो गए and again sold. This is number 2. So how many times did this happen in the year? 8. So if I'm saying a company has an inventory turnover of 8 versus an inventory turnover of 12, what does it mean? Which is better? 12 is better. Why? It means that they manufactured and sold. This happened 12 times in a year. So in simple words, can I say they can move their inventory in the market? They can sell their inventory in a market in a better or a faster manner, I can say. Okay, so higher the inventory turnover ratio, can I say liquidity will increase or decrease? Increase. So in simple words, I may say that inventory would also lead, better inventory turnover ratio should ideally lead to better liquidity. Is this okay? So basic meaning of inventory turnover ratio is clear? Can we go on? Yes. Next one. So inventory turnover ratio itna hi tha. Someone wanted to know about book value yesterday, which is not there in our 8-pointer system. Well, we can take this in our 8-pointer. So then we'll have to change the name to 9-pointer system. Okay, but anyways, we say that more analysis is not bad. Don't make it too much of analysis. Okay, so we'll try to solve your query of what is exactly book value in, again, the most simplified manner. For that, you need to understand a basic convention of accounting. Basic Indian Ind AS, I've told you about this. Ind AS are accounting standards in India. You remember why the word accounting standards is there? Like we have laws in India. We have law for companies. We have some laws for LLPs. We have laws for income tax. We have laws for GST. Do we have laws for accounting? Not really. Instead of laws, we use the word standards. Okay, that is what I told you. What are accounting standards? These are nothing but laws for accounting, in simple words. Okay. Ind AS or even our conventional accounting standards, they say that the books of accounts, in the books of accounts, we have to record all the transactions at a historical cost rather than the current market value. Means what? Let us understand. If I'm talking about balance sheet of a company, okay, and here we have assets. If you remember, Ind AS has this format: first assets and then liabilities. Our traditional format will have liabilities first and then assets. Doesn't make a difference. It's just about how it is presented. Finally, liability remains a liability, asset remains an asset. Because ये इधर ऊपर लिखा है इसीलिए liability asset बन गया, ऐसे नहीं होता है. It's just a style of presenting which is first. Okay. So if I'm talking about this scenario, assets and liabilities, let us say I had bought a piece of land 10 years ago at 2 crore rupees. Okay, I had bought a piece of land at 2 crore rupees. How many years ago? 10 years ago. Now, do you think today the value of land will be 2 crores or will it be more than that? Has to be more than that. But what remains in my balance sheet? Is it the current market value or the price at which I had bought the land? The price at which I had bought the land. This is known as historical cost. Historical cost means what? The cost at which I had bought it. Okay. So now what would happen? Understand. The price at which I bought certain assets, while the price of these assets today, will there be a big difference? Yes. Can I say this will especially happen in case of construction companies? Because good construction companies ideally will have good land banks. Okay, we call this term as a land bank. For them, bank balance से ज़्यादा important होता है land bank. How much land they have. The more and more land they have, that too at a cheaper price, their profitability is going to be better, very high in fact. Okay. So now understand, what is a book value? Book value means all these assets, whatever, all these assets at current market price or at historical cost? At historical cost. Total. Minus all the external liabilities is what we should say. External liabilities में क्या कहेगा? अच्छा, if you can remember, assets के अंदर क्या क्या आता है? We have non-current assets and we have current assets. Similarly, in liabilities we have first. First. Oh my God, first shareholders funds. Liability side में तीन parts है ना? First is shareholders funds. Then we have non-current liability, and then we have current liability. I guess we have drawn this format, na? Format of balance sheet we have drawn, to my knowledge. So now, please understand this. Whenever I'm talking about what is the meaning of book value, this I might also substitute with what is the net worth. What we generally do is all these assets, whatever is the total, let us say total comes to 4 crores, just as an example, all other assets put together, and my shareholders funds is 1 crore 50 lakhs, and my non-current and current put together comes to 2 crore 50 lakhs. So what will be my total? 4 crores. Before we move on, I hope you should know this, or you already know this. Balance sheet always tallies. Balance sheet has to tally. Tally means what? Has to be equal. My assets and my liabilities have to be equal. Why? I'll tell you a simple reason for that. Before we move on to what is book value or what is what is our net worth. Simple. Assets is what? Which I own. And what is the liability? Which I owe. Okay. In simple words, why do I owe money? Because I've taken money from someone. That is why I owe money. I might have taken money from lenders, or I might have taken money from my equity shareholders also, other shareholders also. So in simple words, can I say liability would majorly deal with sources of funds? And if you remember, sources of funds is nothing but majorly own funds and what? Loan funds. and whatever I own. Why will I own something? Because I've bought something, that is why I own something. Furniture I bought, that is why it is mine, I own it. Land I bought, that is why it is mine. Okay, like this is sources of funds, I may say that assets is nothing but utilization of funds. Utilization of funds. And my sources and my utilization has to match. You might say, madam, but if you borrowed 100, so now let us take simple mathematical examples. I borrowed 100 from my shareholders, assume debt-free company, and I invested only 80 rupees in plant and machinery. Where is it telling? It is telling. Exactly, remaining 20 is what? Cash and cash equivalent. You give me any example, it has to fit here. Okay, simple hai na? Whatever I borrow and whatever I spend should be equal, or if I have not spent, then it's my balance. It has to be equal. Really? Okay, understood. So always remember this. You take any company, your asset side total and your liability side total has to be the same. Compulsory. Okay, but what about profit and loss account? The income side and the expense side, will it be the same? No. They can differ or they have to differ? 99.9%, 99.9999%. They will differ. Because if my income and expense is same, उससे अच्छा कुछ मत करो. If income and expense is same, then what is happening? No profit, no loss. Then it's better that you sleep at home, na? You're taking so much efforts, and if you are having a no profit, no loss situation, makes no sense. Okay, so profit or loss, that difference between income and expenditure is going to determine either you are having a profit or a loss. So there you will have a difference, but in balance sheet, you will never have a difference. Is this okay? Any other doubt? No? So when I show you some balance sheet, that also time you can check, ah ma'am, this is same. Assets, liabilities are same. And last time tell me why they are same. Assets are like, first we'll start with liabilities are like sources of funds. And assets are like utilization of funds. If I take 100 and if I spend only 70, where is it telling? Or 30 rupees is what? My cash and cash equivalent. It's my balance with me. Is this okay? Yes. So moving back to what is the concept of book value, also known as net worth. I may say that land or whatever, all other assets, totally they are coming to how much? 4 crores. And my other liabilities means what? I'm not considering shareholders funds. I have to take that aside. Balance put together is coming to what? 2 crore 50 lakhs. So tell me what is the book value? Book value का formula समझते हैं. Book value or net worth I may say is equal to assets minus external liabilities. Why am I saying external liability? Shareholders funds ये तो अपने लोग हैं ना, वो कंपनी के बाहर के लोग नहीं ट्रीट किए जाते हैं, अपने लोग. why? Shareholders are like owners of the company. They are not demanding any fixed income from me. Okay, so external liability, will this include shareholders funds or no? It will not include. It will not include shareholders funds. They are like owners. So in simple words, can I say entire asset side total minus what? External liabilities will be what? Non-current liability and current liability. So this will be what? Assets minus external liabilities is your book value. Achha, in our example, what is our book value? Tell me. How much is the total of assets? 4 crores. What is the total of external liabilities? 2.5 crores. Correct, na? So what is our answer? So instead of doing all this jhamela, just say shareholders funds is like your book value. Shareholders funds, basically whatever profit you get, that is transferred to shareholders funds only, na? Profit or loss is transferred to shareholders funds. Reserves and surplus में वो transfer होता है. So whatever you have achieved anyways goes to the liability side, shareholders funds. I'm sure you are not able to visualize this, what I said right now. Just check this out. Maybe you'll get a better picture. See, we have a statement of P and L. And what are the two major points in P and L? Tell me. One is an income, one is an expense. Okay. So here we have whatever is income, whatever is other income, total income. What are we interested in? First, total income. Total income. उसके बाद expenses है. Okay. All these expenses 1, 2, 3, 4. See, employee benefits, sales, finance costs, depreciation, amortization. You remember this term? Depreciation, amortization, all other expenses, and then you get what? Total expenses. In simple words, total income minus total expenses is going to be my profit before tax. But if you remember, first we do this profit before exceptional and all that. You remember an example of exceptional or extraordinary item? What is that? Some exceptional or extraordinary item. An example of that. Huh? Earthquake wala jo loss hai, that was an extraordinary item on the loss side. And on the profit side? Land बेच दिया. We sold land and we got profit. We sold shares and we got profit. That could be an exceptional item. Okay. And finally we get our, whenever we deduct all these, we get profit before tax, then we deduct tax and we get profit after tax. Okay. 1 minute, let me complete this. How much is profit after tax? 6677.70. Who can tell me logically? This is the final profit which is left with us. Okay, there might be some appropriations here. We might get this figure as well. We'll just check it out. But for the time being, final profit left with me is how much? 6677.70. Okay, wait. What do you think? Who is the owner of this money? Shareholders. See, finally we say whatever is profit of the business, that is of the owners of the business. And who are the owners of the business? Shareholders. So this money has to go to which side of the balance sheet? Shareholders funds. This should be added to shareholders funds. So this should go to liability side. Okay, till here? So basically inside liability side, we'll have shareholders funds and this amount has to get transferred to shareholders funds because they are the true deserving people of this money. True हकदार है मैं बोल सकती हूँ, है ना? Because they have taken the risk, they have earned the profit, they deserve this money. Okay, so how will we check? Did they really get this money or not? Now where will we check? Shareholders funds in balance sheet. So let us go to balance sheet, shareholders funds. If you remember this, equity, share capital and other equity. What was other equity? Reserves and surplus. In days mein, you remember na? Other equity was what? Reserves and surplus. But do we see that figure here? Or is it much higher than that? Much higher than that. So we'll have to check note number 18. So I'm just scrolling down. Here starts note number 18. Okay. What was the figure of that? 6677 something, no? Have they transferred it to reserve maybe? You have a hashtag here. I told you na, it will come somewhere here. OCI में आ गया. This will be shifted here. Still 6559. See. Oh, okay. Other equity में we had 6677. ठीक है. 17th. I'll tell you what is this now. If you remember, financial statements include what? So I'll tell you frankly. When I did CA, we had normal accounting standards. And since last 3 years, Ind AS has come into picture. Okay, Ind AS is applicable only for listed companies as of now and very big private limited or public limited companies. So I have not worked practically in Ind AS till date. So what has happened in Ind AS versus normal AS is that there are some accounting treatments which will differ. Logic wahi rahega, but maybe one accounting item going from this account to other account, that will change a little bit. Okay. So what has happened is that if you remember where we had talked about first, second or third lecture, where we talked about what are financial statements. You remember what are financial statements is what we had discussed. Financial statements include balance sheet, P&L, cash flow statement, statement of changes in equity is what we had discussed. If you can turn back for a minute. First or second day, notes to accounts, very correct. You remember that? That is a term number roughly. Have you termed it? Roughly 5th term. Okay, statement of changes in equity. Now I'll tell you, old accounting standards did not have this statement of changes in equity. So what they have done is, inside statement of changes in equity, they have taken that P&L. Okay, and this statement of changes in equity ka jo final balance aega, that will be taken to reserves and surplus maybe. So earlier what used to happen, I'll tell you, for you to visualize it, as per the previous accounting standards, whatever profit we had as per P&L, we used to directly transfer to reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus under what? Shareholders funds. That is what we were searching right now. This is as per normal accounting standard. But under Ind AS, it is apparently going as profit and loss as per P&L, first transferred to statement of changes in equity. Okay, statement of changes in equity, and then this part is going to what? Then this will go to reserves and surplus. So this might be the jump. That is why we are not able to trace the exact amount. Correct? So have you understood this? Yes. One last time. Originally what used to happen, our entire profit used to directly get transferred to reserves and surplus. And whom does this money belong to? Shareholders. Correct? But now what is happening? Whatever profit we have, that will first get transferred to statement of changes in equity. There's one more statement in between, and from here it will go to reserves and surplus. So maybe there are, see here you can see in statement of changes in equity, here you have other equity. And what is other equity? One last time. Reserves and surplus, na? So now just check here ideally. So under statement of changes in equity, we should find our 6677 point something. Correct, na? As per our logic, P&L should first get transferred to statement of changes in equity and then to reserves and surplus. So under statement of changes in equity, we get this other equity. And what was other equity? Reserves and surplus. So let us check if we find this 6677 here. अभी भी नहीं मिला तो मतलब हद हो जाएगी. See, very clearly it is written, profit for the year. Can you see this? Profit for the year, and it is coming to 6677.70. Exact same figure. So this is transferred to what? Other equity. Other equity is nothing but reserves and surplus. So please understand the accounting part also now to get a better picture. Profit and loss account will show us what? Incomes minus expenses. Either resulting figure will be either a profit or a loss. Okay. Profit हुआ तो कौन खुश हो रहा है? Shareholders. Loss हुआ तो कौन दुखी है? Shareholders. Either profit or loss, both hit or a good moment has to be taken by the shareholders only. Okay. But if I'm talking about debenture holders, for debenture holders what will happen? Tell me. For debenture holders what will happen? Are they really interested in how much final profit is there? No. Is it okay till here? And this final profit will go to reserves and surplus. What is reserve and surplus? Other equity. And from other equity, it is going to our balance sheet now. एकदम okay till here? Yes, very good. Now let us go back to the concept of book value. मतलब ये हो सकता था जितना स्लो पढ़ा है मैंने, इससे भी स्लो नहीं हो सकता अभी. Okay. Interest, only interest element, nothing else. Only interest element. Okay. So let us go back to our discussion now. Finally, quickly, everyone has to tell me. Now I hope book value concept is also clear. One more time, quickly. Book value में which two elements? First one is liabilities, assets. What is happening in liabilities? Shareholders funds, non-current liabilities, and current liabilities. Non-current assets, current assets. Whatever, what? Okay, we'll write here 100, 50, and 50. Let us say. So it's coming to 200. This total has to be 200 because this is what? Sources of funds. This is what? Application or utilization of funds. Correct? Assume this is 100 and this is 100. Tell me what is the book value? 100. Quick, book value is 100. Either you take this directly, shareholders fund value, or what is the formula? Assets minus external liabilities. So 200 this 200 minus 100, it will come to 100. Book value, very clear. Okay. And the very important point that we must understand is mainly for construction companies, infrastructure companies. All these companies, rather than infrastructure, also main construction only. For them, book value will be way different than the actual valuation of the company. Why? Because all these assets are at what? All land purchased by them is at historical cost. 10-20 साल पहले लिया है. That valuation is coming in the books. Okay, that is why book value is one parameter which we have to check. Now, like yesterday we checked one formula, earnings per share. You remember what was earning per share? What was our total earnings? Tell me. Achha, how did we calculate EPS? Very good. PAT divided by total number of shares. Correct? If I were to calculate book value per share, now tell me logically what will be the formula for book value per share? बहुत आसान है. Total book value of the company divided by total number of shares again. Correct? And if you remember, how did we understand what is the total number of shares? Very good. Shareholding pattern. In shareholding pattern, if you remember, there was that second column wherein we scroll down and understood what is the exact total number of shares. Okay. Now what could be the interpretation? Interpretation part is very important. Assume that book value of the share. So we'll just check for some company what is the book value versus what is the market value. You're going to get a very dangerous picture here. Huh? You'll see all my screens like this only. Oops. Like yesterday, if you remember, we talked about Asian Paints also, na? So Asian Paints. Now, if we go down, okay, what is the current market price, by the way, for Asian Paints? It's 1,428. See the book value? Shock laga. The book value is only 103. And the current market price is 1,000 something. And like we had a PE yesterday, price to earning, we always have even a P to BV. P to BV, price to book value. And that is coming to 13.86. Who can tell me what do we mean by 13.86? Huh? Correct. The share is trading at 13.86 times of its book value. Not exactly he had paid, because I'll repeat the question. The question is that does 13.86 mean that whatever shareholder had invested, that versus current market value, is that 13.86 times? Is that what you're trying to tell? No. Answer is no. Why? Understand. Shareholder had put, let us say, 1 rupee, but you also have reserves and surplus. No? Reserves and surplus is, let us say, 1. So what is your book value now? 2. You had invested 1, you got reserves and surplus rupee 1, surplus for the year, so 2. Now this 2 as compared to current market value is price to book value. Okay? Yes. Acha. Normally, in general, higher is equal to stock is more expensive or less expensive? More expensive. Same logic like PE. Higher, it means that the stock is more expensive. But also understand that why is this expensive? Is it a market leader? So for that, now we need to know the other parameters of the company. What is this company doing? This is into paints. उतना तो अपने को समझ में आता ही है, Asian Paints है बोल के. But is it the market leader in that? How much share of the total market they have? Assume that Asian Paints is having almost 70% of the total market share. If they are like as good as the standalone leaders, they are going to claim a premium. And इसीलिए उनका book value may be ज़्यादा हो सकता है. Okay. Which companies could have a lower price to book value? Which are cheap? Agreed. But again, question is, why are they cheap? It is not like just because they are cheap, buy it. That's a wrong interpretation. There could be certain cases, like, I don't remember now what will happen, but this is what I had checked almost a year ago roughly. Maybe it was Syndicate Bank only. Book value, correct, I remember it properly. Book value is 62. Okay. And what is the current market value? 36. So now here price to book value is like half. Oh wow, it's cheap. Get it quickly, pounce on it. No. First understand, why is it cheap? Are there some problems in the bank? Okay, problem for a bank could be a typical case of NPAs, non-performing assets. And if you remember, I told you the other day, bad debts is same like non-performing assets for a bank. So if NPAs are high, that might be one of the reasons why their book value is higher than their current market price. There could be many reasons. Maybe management is not performing well. There are some problems with the management. Multiple problems ho sakte hain. So P to BV, you can help to understand whether it is cheap or whether it is costly. But before you analyze the reason why, don't jump to any conclusion. Is this okay? So if you want to quickly write this down, we have written already about what is book value.
No, we have written about inventory.
No, we have not written about book value. Okay, write down. You have written? Good. You can sleep for some time. It is calculated as assets minus external liabilities. Full stop. Assets minus external liabilities. Achha, what is included in external liabilities? External liabilities will be equal to current liabilities plus non-current liabilities. Okay? And BV per share. BV per share. Ekdam Achha, by the way, I had also told you, na, there is one more formula for calculating BV. BV is also nothing but shareholders funds, na? We'll also write, maybe we'll write that at the end. Book value is just mainly what is your historical cost. Okay, so BV per share is equal to total BV divided by what? Number of shares. Total BV divided by number of shares. And what is the important formula which is linked to BV per share? What was the important formula related to BV? Price to BV ratio. Price to book value ratio. उधर ही one important ratio related to BV is what you can write down. One important ratio related to BV is price to BV ratio. Acha, if it is higher, what does it mean? The stock is costly. So higher is equal to costly, lower is equal to cheap. Yes, it can be. Hmm. Hmm. Earlier what used to happen was that the loss used to go to asset side. That is why it would have been same. But this time also it should match. We'll try to answer the reason why. I'll let you know. Okay. So as of now, we have written about what is book value, but a word of caution. What did I say? What is a word of caution? Just because it is cheap, don't buy it. We have to analyze the reason as to why is it cheap. Okay. So now comes after you've written all these things. Now finally to sum up the entire discussion, I think we should write this down, our 8-pointer system, as a summary, foolproof summary. So I'll just tell you how I have designed it. It's an 8-pointer system. Okay. First we would write about ratio analysis. So these are my 8 points. What do we achieve? And interpretation. Okay. So just one serial number and 4 major points. So if you can make this as a columnar one, serial number, which ratio or which parameter, this is actually a ratio, or instead of writing ratio analysis, better word is ratio slash parameter. Ratio or parameter. Sorry. Oh. So ratio is ratio or parameter, then how to calculate, what do we achieve, and interpretation. One minute. Is this still visible or no? It's difficult. Visible, na? Done? Can we start with the first one? Yes? Okay, the first ratio is liquidity ratio. We'll take this as a quick revision also. liquidity ratio. What was the name of the ratio, by the way, which we talked about? Current ratio. So liquidity ratio. So right now I'm not telling you directly the name of the ratio. What does it tell us? It tells us about the liquidity position of the company. So I'm telling you what does it signify also. So liquidity ratio, the very first one is current ratio. And here we are just summarizing it up. So you can write down current assets upon current liabilities. Okay, what do we achieve with the current ratio? Tell me. What do we achieve? What do we understand? What do we achieve or understand? No, understand will go into interpretation again. What do we achieve is only correct. Okay, cash and cash position of the company. Yes. So what do we achieve? We understand the cash position or the liquidity position of the company. Okay, wait. First we'll try to understand both. Liquidity position agreed. But if you remember, what was the interpretation? Okay, we understand liquidity agreed. But then how can I use it for my analysis? How fastly it can generate cash? How do you define how fastly? 2:1. That is what we had discussed upon. Ideal is 2:1. So if you are falling short of space, just in case, you can actually combine the third and fourth column together. If you are falling short of space, third and fourth column could be together. What can we achieve or the interpretation part? Can we go on to the next one? Yes. Chalo. So the second one is solvency ratio. We have not given them names as such. Solvency ratio. It talks about the solvency position. And the important ratio that we discussed here was debt to equity ratio. And now everyone understands debt to equity. Equity is nothing but shareholders' funds. And how do we calculate shareholders' funds? Share capital plus reserves and surplus. Can we go on? What do we understand with this? Debt equity ratio, so what do we understand? It should be less, agreed, but that is the interpretation part. What do we understand if I say this much is debt, this much is equity? Okay, so mainly can I say it helps us to understand the composition of funds raised. Composition of funds raised, because right now we talked about what is the liability side, sources of funds. So from where have they obtained? Either from own funds or from loan funds. So mainly we analyze the capital structure. What do we achieve? We analyze the capital structure. Into bracket, if you want to write down, what will you write into bracket? Capital structure into bracket, own funds versus loan funds. Solvency means, so like he said, is there any danger in future or not? Will the company remain solvent or not? If they have excessive debt, will they remain solvent? They will become insolvent. Insolvent is gaya abhi, kam se gaye. Diwali, I guess, in Hindi. Lut gaye. On the verge of collapse. And the last one, again, maximum debt to equity ratio should be 2:1. Shall we move on? Yes, what is the third ratio now that we talked about? Profitability ratio. So the correct one is return on capital employed. Return on capital employed. Okay. For return on capital employed, what do we understand? If I say return on capital employed is 12%. How much money invested versus, or invested is how much money is put in the business to run the business, versus how much we have obtained as a return. How much money we have generated. It measures profitability or return on money invested. Okay. So it measures profitability. If you are getting confused, like it might be divided by So you write down measures profitability or return on money invested. What could be the interpretation here? Higher the better, lower the better? Higher the better. And if you remember, I told you minimum कितना होना चाहिए? At least 10% यार. उससे भी कम मिल रहा है तो better I'll put in debentures. So higher the better, but at least 10%. No, this is like very pessimistic, absolutely pessimistic. Even if you are not getting 10%, then don't even look at it. Ideally, you should be getting 20-25. Agreed. Then, maza aega. Okay, but this is the most pessimistic point I'm talking about. Okay. Chalo, next one, activity ratio. Activity. How active is the management? How they're performing their activities? That's an activity ratio. So it's calculated actually like COGS divided by average inventory. COGS is cost of goods sold. But it's a tricky calculation, so I did not tell you how exactly it is calculated. If you want to write down the formula though, COGS is cost of goods sold. COGS, cost of goods sold, divided by average inventory. Ajit, can we get this ratio ready-made? Where? So if you remember in money control, if I go to any company, let us say Reliance, and for Reliance, we first go to which tab? Financials. In financials, we had this ratios. Okay. Inside ratios, you'll find many ratios. Like here we have an inventory. Oops, sorry. We have an inventory turnover ratio. See, 8. Okay, ulta dekhna chahiye na. From 15 we'll have to check. From right to left we'll have to study na. Inventory turnover ratio. Earlier it was 9, then 8.32, 7.11, 7.33, 8.40. Recovering or going worst? Recovering. Because agreed, 5 years ago it was 9, agreed. But then it went down to 8.32 and today it is better than this, na? Better than 3 years ago. So it's recovering. Okay. So we need not understand how to calculate COGS and it will be more of unnecessary information. Okay. So that's why I did not take any numerical on this. Directly I've told you the formula and we anyways get it ready made. What do we achieve? We have discussed this today only. What do we achieve? Liquidity to some, but I'll not say liquidity always. Why? Understand. Your inventory might get turned over, but that person could be a customer who has not yet paid us money. So it could be a debtor. Okay. So it determines how fast we can move or how fast we can sell whatever we have manufactured. Correct? Yes. So it measures the operational efficiency. That's why we say it's an efficiency ratio. Now, how fast they can sell the manufactured product. It measures operational efficiency. Acha, could there be some company which is not manufacturing anything? It's just acting as a trader? Yeah. Like Amazon, like DMart. For DMart, if inventory turnover ratio is low, good or bad? Bad or very bad? Very bad, because for DMart, okay, they are also having some food items, na? If that inventory turnover is low, then the food may become stale and बहुत losses हो जाएगा ना फिर उनको, right? So ideally for such type of companies, inventory turnover ratio has to be very good, should be very good. Okay. If we move on, next one. I'm sorry, the interpretation part, higher the better. And if you remember, we had talked about this also just few minutes ago. It determines what number of times inventory was replenished. Manufactured, sold, replenished. Can we go on? Now next one last ratio. If you remember yesterday's very important ratio was valuation ratio, which is our PE ratio. Today we talked about one more, na? PE, or we also talked about P to BV. If you want to write there only, anyways we have discussed, so let us write P2E or P2BV, price earning or price to book value. The formula will be same, na? Market price per share is going to be constant for both, divided by what? हाँ, यहाँ पे आएगा मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर, वहां पे आएगा बुक वैल्यू पर शेयर. नहीं, रुको. Market price per share, numerator is going to remain common and divisor will change, na? We have written the formula, na? Okay, market price to earning per share and वहां पे price to book value है ना? So market price per share divided by book value per share. Correct? Okay till here? Yes?
And we have written only one formula in that. Book value per share is equal to total book value divided by total number of.
We have not written what is P2BV.
No.
No?
You have only said one important ratio related to it is BV per share.
Acha. So then write the formula there only, na? See, it's so simple. What is the P2BV ratio? Price to BV ratio will be equal to exactly price per share divided by book value per share. Have you written this down? Book value per share? And anyways, I'm telling you. Okay, good that we are knowing this. Simple ones, I'm telling you the calculation also. Otherwise, same, this is also available ready-made. Acha, what do we understand in PE? How costly, correct. So, in the what do we understand part?
How costly is the share?
Maybe I've written here only directly. Okay, so here you can just write down how costly the share is. We'll write that in interpretation. Or we can also, what do we achieve maybe? We can write down whatever. How costly the share is what we understand. Right hand side, higher is equal to costly, lower is equal to cheap, agreed. But one more very important note that we can write down, how do we determine higher or lower as compared to what? It's higher as compared to industry PE or lower as compared to industry PV. Higher is equal to costly, lower is equal to cheap. And there only write down a note. Higher or lower can be determined by comparing it with what? Industry PE. By comparing it with industry PE. Is this okay? Next, now this is not a ratio as such because no one uses it, but we have tried to understand, we have tried to analyze this. Share capital to reserve, or you can write down the trend in reserves, 5 years trend in reserves. Correct? Share capital to reserves or 5 years trend in reserves is what we were checking. There's nothing to calculate here, na? We just were looking at the balance sheet and doing. So how to calculate is dash. What do we achieve is also nothing, but what is the interpretation, tell me? Increasing trend in reserves. Sorry. Increasing trend in reserves is equal to good. This is the first interpretation. And second interpretation, if you remember, share capital is to reserve. Share capital means what? Money invested in the business. And reserves is what? Money that has been generated by the business. Okay. So if this ratio is higher, then what does it mean? The money the business is generating more returns or more money than we had invested in the business. Okay. So if the so higher is equal to, sorry, no, in ROCE we are calculating only EBIT. Check the ROCE formula, it's only EBIT. And here what goes to reserves and surplus? Profit after tax. Okay. And here one more, in ROCE we are calculating the total capital employed. Total capital employed includes share capital, equity plus debt. Here we are comparing it only, with capital, that is nothing but only equity. Here we are comparing it only with equity, na? Not with debt. Okay. So acha, 1 minute. Higher is क्या? Reserves to capital. If you are saying higher is equal to, correct. Reserves to capital. Numerator denominator change हो गया. Reserves to capital, correct. Change it. Increasing trend in the reserves is equal to good, full stop, agreed. But higher the ratio is equal to, one more thing, if you remember, I told you, higher the ratio, there are chances that company will declare bonus shares or will declare dividend, if you remember. Because what are they going to do with the surplus? They have to distribute it to the shareholders at some point of time, na? Correct? So higher the ratio is equal to better chances of getting what? Bonus shares / dividend. Okay. Sorry. Split has got nothing to do with higher reserves. Stock split, whenever company wants, they can do it, irrespective of how much is reserves. Can we go on to the next ratio? Yes, or the next parameter, I can say. The next parameter that we had discussed, very important parameter, free cash flows. And if you remember, how did we calculate free cash flows? Yes, so it was cash flow from operations minus purchases of fixed assets less sales of fixed assets. And where were you getting all this information? In balance sheet, in P&L, in the cash flow statement. Entire information you'll get in cash flow statement. So if you feel you might forget this, also write it, that entire information, this you will get in cash flow statement. Can we go on? Yes. What do we achieve? We get to measure the free cash available with the company. Correct, na? For what? For operations of the business. Can we go on? Acha, higher the better? Yes or no? Yes. So you can just quickly write down higher the better for interpretation. higher the better. And moving on to the last one, 8th point, which was the simplest one. Shareholding pattern which was pledged. How many shares have been pledged by the company? That was an important parameter though. So shareholding pattern, you may say, dash, it's not minus, huh? It's not minus. Shareholding pattern dash pledged shares. Okay. So what were we trying to understand? Understand the number of shares pledged by the promoters, especially the promoters. So what do we achieve? We try to understand the number of shares pledged by promoters. And if you remember, what did we say? More number of pledged shares is good or bad? Bad. It's a bad sign. So the interpretation is more number of pledged shares is equal to what? Bad sign. And ideally it should be what? 0. This is like the bird's eye view of whatever we have done. So I feel this is the most important page. This will summarize it up for you. So whenever you want to revise what we did in this batch, first try to revise this page. If you are able to recollect this, nothing like it. Okay? Huh. Okay, I feel that if you are talking about the weightage, out of 100 I will not say, but what I have done is, in simple words, I have tried to cover each and every different angle of the company. So P ratio is important, but towards the end it is important. So just as an example, if everything is fine, but just P is costly, does it mean I should not buy? No, I will buy because it deserves that much value. So I generally give equal weightage, you may say. So I've never assigned any weight for this. I check all the parameters and generally I say on a scale of 8. So you may say that I give one number to each. And on a scale of 8, if I get 6 or above, 6, 7, 8, then I go ahead with the analysis. See, basically it's a filter again. Na? If I get 6 out of 8 or 7 out of 8 or 8 out of 8, I don't go and buy the share immediately. Then I'll check ki what are the future plans. उसके बाद वो management analysis part चालू हो जाता है फिर. Okay, this is just a filter. Now you'll say, madam, doing all these things itself will consume so much time. But now, that is why we have these magical websites, na? To screener.in. Okay, very important. It's a free website. If you're learning anything from me, then exactly, then you can believe that ideally this should be free. At least basic screens will be free. They have a premium plan here wherein you get access to unlimited ratios and all. I've never tried to explore that because I feel this information itself is too much of information. Okay, see, one who is doing this as a full-time profession, he wants to know each and every minutest possible detail, maybe he can go in for that premium plan. But I feel for a good research also this is enough. Okay, so yesterday which company you were talking about? Escorts, okay. But we have done the analysis of escorts yesterday. Okay, what we'll do is, we've talked about this many times, but we didn't check, no, not RNR. Reliance, we have not done the ratio analysis, na? We have not, we have discussed about it, ki Reliance kya hai, kya nahi hai. Okay, but I think we should just try to check what are the parameters. Now, obviously, what I have done is that, see, I'll tell you, if I log out, then these columns, whatever columns are there by default, they'll be different. There'll be different columns. Okay, so what you have to do again, understand one more time. What did I do? This is the home screen. I'm now actually teaching you how to use screener.in. I'll do one thing. I'll first log out. This is how the screen will appear. Okay, first everyone try to create your own profile. Okay, so if you just check this Reliance, that's okay, but here you can see that their columns are different. Okay, we do get a P as a ready-made ratio. So here you can see Reliance ka P is 20, IOCL 7, BPCL 10, HPCL 7, MRPL 28. This is a little bit more, but otherwise BPCL, HPCL, IOCL comparatively lesser. Okay, then they have one point known as market capitalization. Anyone knows what is the meaning of market capitalization? Number of shares of the company multiplied by market price per share. Simple. Okay.
How much amount that company is valued in the market?
Exactly. So tomorrow, this is just a time pass way to understand this. Tomorrow, if I want to buy out Reliance Industries, बहुत हो गया मुकेश अंबानी का. Now it has to be Rachna Ranade. Okay, just as an example. So I'll have to shell out only 8,07,313.15 crores only. Okay, that is the meaning of market capitalization. How much money I need to buy out the company today. Because how will I buy out the company? Number of shares multiplied by market price per share. That's the market capitalization. Is this okay? Yes. Then dividend yield. Dividend yield means what? It's again, it's a very nice parameter, but everyone is not interested in dividend, earning dividend. So I don't focus more on dividend yield. I'll show you one company for which dividend yield ideally has to be good. It has to be, I'll tell you what is that. Rural Electrification Corporation is not coming. REC. Okay, this is company Rural Electrification Corporation. We'll check dividend yield for that. Ideally, it should be good. Yes. 6.2%. Okay, now what is this dividend yield? I'll tell you. The simple formula for dividend yield is dividend per share divided by market price per share. If you want to write this down for your own understanding, what is dividend yield? For those who are interested in dividend, those who are into 30% tax slab, for you all, this is a good ratio for personal financial planning. Dividend divided by market price per share. That's the dividend yield ratio. Okay. Per share. Dividend per share divided by market price per share. So in simple words, who can tell me what do we mean by 6.2 rupees? This is 6.2 percentage. Means what? If market price of this share is 100, I'm getting a dividend of 6.20. It's a good. On an investment of 100, I'm getting a dividend of 6.2, and very, very important, this is tax free. Up to 10 lakh rupees of dividend. इतना मुझे मतलब I am not saying that I am a big investor, but I am nowhere even close to 10 lakh rupees dividend. Dividend amounts are not really high. So if you check this, 6% dividend yield is a good yield, and whatever dividend you are getting from listed companies, it is tax free. So now you can imagine, you may say, madam, but if I put in FD, I'm going to get 7%. Here I'm getting, see, FD ka interest and dividend, is it little bit comparable? Yes, on what parameter? Understand. I invest money in FD, what I get as a return is interest on FD. I invest in shares, what I get as a return is dividend. Okay, both are like return on my investment. Okay, till here. Now tell me, interest on FD what I'm getting is taxable. Okay, so for example, if I'm talking about 7% return, and if you are into the 30% tax slab, what is your effective return? 7 3s are 21. So 7 ka 30% nikalo na, it's 2.1. 7 ka 30% is 2.1. Deduct. So effective return is 4.9% versus 6.2, 6.67%. पहले की स्क्रीन में 14 था. IOCL. Wow. 14%. See, and I'll tell you one common thing in this. 1 minute. Yeah, have you heard about this company, Coal India? This should ideally be also good. See, 7%. 7.62%. Vedanta is a good one, but Vedanta again, doubt it. See, all these three companies that I talked about, REC, Coal India, IOCL, all these are what? Government companies. Common factor. So rather than saying safe or not, understand this. Whenever, I'll tell you one very magic in this, huh? Understand this. See what happens. You know what is a government company, by the way? Managed by the government. That's not how a government company is defined. Shareholding pattern. It's about the shareholding pattern. So let us say out of 100 shares, if more than 50 are held by the government, more than 50% of the shareholding is by the government, then it's a government company. किसी भी company में, if more than 50% is by the government, then it's a government company. So if you want to quickly check this also, so we were on money control. I'll just quickly show you for IOCL right now, na? I might have covered this under basics of stock market. I don't remember it, but could be a minor repetition. But for you all, you are listening this for the first time. See this shareholding pattern, correct? And here you can see central government or state government. Visible, na, properly? Central government, state government. How much they have owned? 52%. So that's why I told you. If the shareholding is more than 50%, then it's a government company. I'll tell you a simple thing. Acha means who, you can imagine this. Government, again, as a time pass example. If government wants to raise a lot of funds, then what they will do? 147 rupees is per value. Now if you check total number of shares by the government, now this is going to be a crazy figure, but it's like 491.21 crores roughly. So if government is in need of money, see 491.21 multiplied by 147 was per share, na? Government चाहता है तो एक झटके में they can raise 72,207 crores by selling their shares. They will not do it. I'm just telling you as an example. If they want, they can raise so much money. Okay. Now, who is this brilliant person who owns all these shares? Government. Means Mr. Modi ji. He is so rich. See, the person who is holding the shares is, he has a value worth 72,000 crores. Wow. Then who owns this? Public. Very good. So all the people on the streets, they go, I want my share. Who paid the tax only? So I'll go to the government and say, chalo, mera share nikalo. So now you can imagine something like this. See, shares have to be there in the demat account, na? Of someone's demat account. Who is this someone who holds this 52.18% shares? Bharat Mata demat account. Will it be like that? No. So understand. These shares are held in the name of President of India. Wow, Mr. Kovind is so rich. No. Not like that. The shares are held in the name of that position and not of that person. Okay. उस कुर्सी के shares है वो. Okay. So whenever any president changes, so when Mr. Kovind will retire, he can't say thank you. I can't express my feeling in words. You have made me so rich. Okay, this will not happen because whenever he will retire, shares will remain there only. Person will change. Okay? So all these shares are held by President of India. It's as good as Government of India. I'll tell you what happens. Government is in need of money. You might have heard this word because this word is going to come up in our economy analysis. Oh, government is in deficit. Government is in Deficit. What do we mean by deficit? The income earned by the government is less than the expenditure of the government. What is income of the government? Taxes. Mainly two types of taxes. Direct taxes like income tax and indirect taxes like GST. That is their major income. And expenditure, the list will just go on and on and on and on. Okay, if there is a deficit, government needs money. कहाँ से पैसा ला सकती है government? Now I'll tell you a simple trick. What government does actually, it is said so. Government will say, we need money. So they will just inform all these profit-making government companies. Correct. Profit-making government companies को क्या बोलेंगे? चलो dividend declare करो. Declare dividend. Whatever dividend is declared, dividend goes to whom? Shareholders, correct. So dividend is going to go to shareholders. And who is the major shareholder? Fantastic. So always remember, that is why this dividend yield of these companies is very good. Always it will be good. So those who want to have a safer bet, I want to invest in stock market, but slowly, steadily. I don't want to take that much risk. Try to go in for government companies which are good profit making and whose dividend yield is high. I'm telling you, you will not get very good returns, but then you are compromising these very good returns for getting a little bit of safety. Assured dividend. Acha, it's not on stamp paper that you will get it every year, but generally you will get it only. Okay, so this is how I started in the initial phases. That because you know that fear factor we have to overcome first. That बाप रे बहुत ही चला गया पैसा. I had invested 100, today it is only rupees 10. I didn't want that in the beginning. So I said slowly, steadily, if I were to see, this also came with analysis, na? When I tried to analyze what is the dividend yield, then I tried to understand which company. So now I'll tell you one more amazing. क्या मजा आता था if I were to check which, give me a list of companies whose dividend yield is greater than 10. Can I do that? Yes. Okay, now we'll just have to check because they have a specific way of presenting. Here you can see screens. I tap on screens. Then I tap on any screen. Okay, any screen. I'll just go down and here you can see search query. I'm just removing all this. And dividend. Very good. Dividend yield is greater than 10. Run this query. Oh. So it will now ask me to log in. Mayur. Blur. Timing लूँगी हाँ अटला से. नहीं कारण it is my personal mail ID. Which is this company? Deltron. Even I didn't know about this. 58.62. But it has shown only one result. I'm wondering why.
Or equal to, greater than or equal
Or maybe I'll just put 8 and just let's try to run this query. Huh? No, it's dividend yield only, na? No, percentage sign is not required. I don't think it will take the query with percentage sign. It's presumed as a percentage. Same. Maybe we'll have to say market capitalization also. It is showing all Chindi companies. Market capital. So here, if I were to put two queries simultaneously, so I'll put and market capitalization is greater than let us say 1,000 crores. It's very less though. I don't know why it's running this query so badly. Check all. Sorry? Maybe. What was that? Without latest? Oh, okay. So now, thanks. So now here you can see all those companies whose dividend yield is greater than 8%. See, my job is so easy. See, here you can get Graphite India, HEG, Procter and Gamble, or entire list. You know, this SJVN, Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam Limited. इथे किती वाजता 9 वाजता ना 10 मिनिटात मॅक्स 5 मिनिटं आधी सोडते 9ला 5 मिनिटं. Okay, so see, I got an entire list. Dividend yield 20%, 8%. So this can very well be a parameter. Huh? So easy. Getting that feeling, wow, my life is so easy now. Okay, so I hope you have written about this. Now what it did was, these columns, if you see here, are ये तो अपनी columns है यार. PE, ROCE, debt to equity, current ratio, inventory turnover, pledged. Huh? How come? Because I've logged into my account right now. Okay, if I log out, acha, for example, this net profit 12 months, I don't want this. So it's very simple, go to edit columns. And here I say, I don't want net profit, let us say. And I want this dividend yield ratio to appear in my list. Now every time I log into my account, dividend yield has to be there. So it went up here, see. I'll show it one more time. Okay. Dividend yield. Save 2 columns. So every single time now it will show me how much is dividend yield. Okay. So how did we go about it right now? Do you want to quickly write it down? No. How the flow went up overall? See, first of all was the home page. In home page, so this is the home page. Then I can search for any company like we were searching for. Originally we were searching for Reliance. Okay. Then in Reliance, now if you scroll down, you can see this entire table. And why you can see all these are 8-pointer format? Because this is my login. Can you edit the columns? Yes, go to edit columns. Okay. If you were to run a query, okay, how did we run a query? For that, first select screens. In screens, first select any screen. Okay. Then in this any screen, what you can do is type here whatever you want to. Okay. For example, right now we did what? Dividend yield, na? So I'm just showing this one more time so that it fits into your mind. Dividend yield is greater than 8. And you need not write down percentage also. It understands that it's a percentage. Run this query. Again it showed the same thing. Maybe do you want to try searching without latest? Searching without latest ke upar type karke, you'll get this entire. And if you want to have more queries back to back, you just go on putting and. So debt to equity. They'll also give us suggested. I've typed only debt. Debt to equity is less than what? 2. Debt to equity also has to be less than 2. Run this query. So out of this, it showed me a few more names. Debt to equity. So it'll show also. See, this is debt to equity. All these. So very fast now. So and we just need to know what I have to check and run the queries. Khatam. Analysis is very quick now. So 2 major things. Number 1, screener. I hope now everyone is clear how to check it. Everyone try to go, not try to go home, go home and try to check. Okay, go home and try to check this screener. Everyone open the account. I don't get any commission if you open the account. Okay, it's just for your analysis part. So this is an important screen. And what is the second important screen? That is your money control. Money control mein which one? Financials. Financials ke andar kaun sa? It was ratios. And here also you get a bunch of ratios. And one ratio which we are going to discuss tomorrow, because it is required for future valuation. EV model. Actually we had planned it today only. But I'll just tell you a brief introduction today. Just last 5 minutes and we'll stop. Okay. We have to understand what is the concept of enterprise value. Just few minutes ago I said, Array, I want to buy Reliance Industries. It has to be Rachna Ranade is Reliance Industries. But if I were to buy Reliance Industries, just can I say I get only the shares of that company? If I buy the company, shares भी आ जाएंगे. अच्छा, उसकी liabilities भी मेरे पास आ जाएंगे. I have to pay all the loans also, na? Okay, so not only the shares, I also own the loans now because I'll have to repay that, but I also get the cash and bank balance with me. Understand? One last time. If I were to buy a company in entirety, what do I get? Number one, I get the entire shares first. All shares are mine now. Number two, all the loans are also mine, but all the cash and cash equivalent is also mine. So if I want to calculate the enterprise value of any company, how would I calculate it? Understand? As a formula, enterprise value will be equal to the value of total shares of the company. How will I calculate that? Value of total shares of the company. Total shares of the company is total number of shares of the company, and I want to buy it today. Correct. Multiplied by latest traded price. That is your current market price. Correct? This is how I'll get entire equity. Plus because equity भी मेरे पास आ गया, debt भी मेरे पास आ गया. So see, finally debt is also what I get. The loans. So basically I'm paying for this, na? Whenever I'm buying, I'm paying for this. But what am I getting? I'm getting the cash and cash equivalent basically. So it's more about the money rather than fixed assets part. So minus cash and cash equivalent. This is the enterprise value of the company. That's how it is calculated. This is just for your understanding. Otherwise, can I say see, because by the way, was there any term for this one?
Net market value.
Market capitalization. Market cap. See, you might have heard about these words, na? Small cap, mid cap, large cap. This is market capitalization. That is how we get to know the small cap, mid cap and large cap firms. Is this okay? नहीं, बाकी सब नहीं. Enterprise value calculation में वो नहीं आता है. We neither take into consideration current liabilities and all that, or current assets, barring cash and cash equivalents. So mainly we are talking about sources of funds is what we are taking over. Okay, so how is enterprise value calculated? One last time. If I were to buy out the company, all shares are mine, but सिर्फ अच्छी बातें अपने पास नहीं आती है ना, बुरी बातें भी तो आएंगी ना. So which shares? All the loans. So basically I'll have to repay the loans first, na? Now Reliance is mine. I bought all the shares. Reliance is mine. Who is standing at the door? All these bankers and all these who have taken, from whom I have taken the loan. Okay, so that is also mine now. But I'll say, how do I pay them? Cash and cash equivalent which Reliance had, that is also mine. Okay, so I hope you have understood this. Just write this ratio and we'll stop. Okay, so write down enterprise value is equal to total number of shares multiplied by LTP. You can write it in the same fashion where this phrase का एक simple meaning is also given here, market capitalization. LTP is what? Last traded price. Last traded price, I guess. I said latest, no? Sorry, it's last traded price. Plus debt, that is loans. Close the bracket, minus cash and cash equivalents. Right? I hope you have understood the meaning of enterprise value. Tomorrow we'll talk about a model wherein we will calculate the value of the firm based on earning value. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.